After staying away from the music industry for nearly 2 decades, Sisqo has finally revealed the real reason he was forced out, and his answer will shock you. Once a major name in R&B, Sisqo was suddenly blacklisted, proving yet again how ruthless the music industry can be, especially when artists refuse to play by its rules. So sit back, because you're about to get a full breakdown of what happened to Sisqo's career in the mid-2000s and how his downfall unfolded. It all started with rumors circulating within the industry, claiming that Sisqo was difficult to work with. Then, whispers began suggesting that he might secretly be gay, followed by accusations that he neglected his family. Over time, these damaging claims completely destroyed his reputation, and his career slowly started to crumble. In the end, Sisqo was never able to fully recover. He decided to step away from the media and focus on his personal life. However, those who weren't part of the industry at the time may not realize just how ahead of his time Sisqo really was. His music and bold fashion sense were so trend-setting that even newer artists like Chris Brown drew inspiration from his style and sound.
And it cursed out that one executive at the record label that put me on the blacklist.
Damn, okay.
It was Leor. There you go. You happy now?
He blacklisted a lot of people.
Right.
In this industry.
I was the first one. I was
Really?
black and I think I started it.
You're so funny.
For starters, Sisqo became famous with his 1999 album Unleash the Dragon, which featured smash hits like Thong Song and Incomplete. Had he been able to maintain that momentum, he might have become one of the biggest R&B artists of his era. But not everyone was keen on that idea. Now, let's rewind and see where it all started. Born in November 1978 in Baltimore, Maryland, Mark Andrews, better known as Sisqo, grew up in a traditional black household. His parents, Alonzo and Carolyn Andrews, had 2 children, Sisqo, and his older sister, Donisha. Like his father, who was an electrician, Sisqo was sent to a vocational high school, but fate had other plans. There, he met Larry, Anthony James, Woody Green, and Tamir Nokio Ruffin, who would later become his bandmates. His friends gave him the name Sisqo, claiming his curly hair gave him a Latino look. This name stuck with him throughout his career and life. At just 14 years old, Sisqo and his 3 friends formed a group called Dru Hill, named after Dru Hill Park in Baltimore. As the lead performer, Sisqo helped the group gain recognition by performing at various venues around the city. Their early days were tough, but they took on small jobs at a candy shop called the Fudgery, where they made sweets and practiced their music. This was their way of earning money while chasing their dreams. Within just 2 years, Dru Hill got its big break. In 1996, at the age of 18, the group signed with Island Black Music Records, a label founded by Hiram Hicks. They recorded their first major track, How Deep Is Your Love? But before this, in 1995, they had also dabbled in gospel music. After this experiment, their manager advised them to head to New York to participate in a talent showcase. There was some initial hesitation, but eventually, everyone was ready for the competition. It was at this event that Hiram Hicks saw them for the first time and offered them a record deal. When their debut album became a massive hit, Dru Hill sued Hiram Hicks and his brothers, accusing them of attacking their manager, Keith Ingram, with a pool cue during a party on May 18, 1997. However, Island Black Music Records denied the allegations, claiming it was just an excuse to avoid embarrassment. To avoid further scandal, the label decided to settle the case outside of court. They offered Dru Hill a $5 million advance and a 20% increase in royalties for each album sold. But here's the twist. Dru Hill rejected the offer. Instead, the group made an even bigger demand. They wanted to break their contract. And it didn't stop there. They also wanted $9 million in compensation. After a year of negotiations, Dru Hill and Island Black Music Records finally reached a settlement, and the band decided to stay with the label. However, the details of their final agreement were never made public. During this time, James Woody Green, an important member of Dru Hill, left the group in 1999. Afterward, he shifted towards gospel music. Gradually, the other members also began working on their solo projects. However, they all made a promise to reunite in 2001 for a new album. Sisqo's solo career skyrocketed, especially after the release of his debut album Unleash the Dragon, which earned him 2 Grammy Awards, one for Best R&B Album and another for Best R&B Song. During this time, he received 4 Grammy nominations and became a part of Def Soul, a subsidiary of Def Jam. His massive hit, Thong Song, took over the world, reaching the top 10 on European charts and hitting number 3 in the UK, Netherlands, and Denmark. But the real shocker came with rumors suggesting that Thong Song was never actually written for Sisqo. According to some, the song was originally meant for someone else, and that someone was none other than Michael Jackson. According to Marcus Collins and Tim Kelly, here's what they had to say.
At the time, me and Tim, we basically were in a creative space thinking about Michael Jackson a lot. We knew we eventually wanted to get on Mike's album, so we were doing a lot of ideas that were out of the box from the normal things people had heard us do. So that was creatively this new sound we were trying to forge before we were even in touch with Sisqo. Next thing I know, he's adding the kick in. It just sounded very urgent. You knew that it was a game changer. But again, we're thinking Michael Jackson. At the time, we wasn't thinking Sisqo.
In other words, fate had big plans for Sisqo. His talent met the perfect opportunity at just the right time. Here's what Sisqo had to say about Thong Song. I wanted people to feel good when they listened to Thong Song. I kept the song very simple, but musically, there was a lot going on. For example, the people who worked on Star Wars were involved. I had studied classical compositions to compose the string section. This song actually incorporates a Beatles sample from Eleanor Rigby. By the time it was ready, almost everything was already written. But while Sisqo was celebrating his success, a major lawsuit was filed against him. Ricky Martin sued him over Thong Song. Martin's legal team claimed that Sisqo had copied the melody from Livin' La Vida Loca, leading to a heavy financial demand. Now, this seemed pretty crazy. Imagine a lawsuit just over 4 words? It seemed extreme, but Sisqo still had to compensate, which turned out to be a huge financial setback. And from here, everything started to turn upside down. While Sisqo's fame soared, the problems escalated just as quickly. His success reached a point where people began saying he could be the next Michael Jackson. But Sisqo stayed loyal to his community, sometimes to a fault. Industry executives like Leor Cohen started having issues with this, and Sisqo later said in an interview, "When you get to that level, you have to play the game. I didn't understand that at first. I thought success meant being Robin Hood. I'm from Baltimore, where people don't have much. So when I saw talent, I hired my uncle, my cousin, and people I trusted. However, this Robin Hood approach didn't sit well with the record executives. The fight with my label started because they said I was making it difficult to work with them," he explained. "Instead of using their people, I was bringing in my own. Instead of featuring one of their rappers, I was featuring my cousin." When you look at this situation, it's clear. The biggest reason for Sisqo's downfall was that he didn't follow the industry's rules, and the people who controlled everything didn't like it. But wait, there's more. Sisqo continued clashing with the industry's mindset, and his record executives weren't happy about it. For instance, issues started arising over his platinum blonde hair. When he was about to shoot the music video for Tell Me, the label insisted that he dye his hair black. Sisqo refused, saying his hairstyle was part of his identity. After much debate, he reluctantly agreed. But here's the twist. Just before the shoot, Sisqo secretly went and dyed his hair platinum blonde again. Imagine the executive's fury when he returned to set. They straight up told him his hair would ruin his career. And believe it or not, they made good on that threat. By then, however, his hairstyle had become iconic among his fans, and people loved it. But this wasn't just a minor issue. His flashy style sparked another controversy, with questions arising about his sexuality. Because his fashion was so vibrant, rumors spread that he might be gay. But Sisqo quickly shut down these speculations, declaring that he was fully confident in his masculinity.
Yeah, well, the gay rumors is once again unwarranted when I guess it was because my hair's blonde. Oh, that's right. Everybody dyeing their hair blonde right now. Everybody's rocking leather right now. Everybody's doing everything I did back in the day. Are they gay too? All right. I guess the silence has it. Nobody asked nobody else what they gay, but I'm gay. I'm just a trailblazer, dude. I'm at the top of the list. I take risk because not insecure about myself or my manhood, so I can do, whatever I feel like I, want to do to express myself as an artist, and it kind of, one of those things that I was able to do first, so that young artists now can express themselves without having fear of being called gay.